Now we will proceed to step 2. Step 2, what we call this is as column operation. Column operation. It is similar to a row operation, but we are conducting this on a column. So whatever the values we had in the earlier table after row operation, the same values will be taken into consideration and we will be proceeding to do this column operation. So in this column operation, in the similar fashion or similar way what we have done in row operation, we will identify the least element in the each column and try to and we will subtract the minimum element of that column from each element of that corresponding column, and we will prepare a new table. Once that new table is ready, then what we will do is we will proceed to make allocation. Anyhow, we will see how we are going to do that. So here we have the same table. The other things are same uniform, like this W1, W2, W3, W4, and whatever the values that were there in the earlier table have to be observed so as to write down this table after column operation. So after step 2, we will proceed for column operation, allocation, that's step 3. So here we will see how it will be. Now the same way what we have done earlier, proceed job worker J1, J2, J3, J4 and J5. Here we have worker 1, worker 2, worker 3, worker 4, worker 5. So in the first column under job 1 or J1, the least element in the column is 0. So we will put 0 itself. 4 minus 0 is 4. 0 minus 0 anyhow 0. Again 4 minus 0 is 4. 7 minus 0 is 7. In the second row, what we will do is we will identify the least element is 0. 5 minus 0. Of course, in the column, if any value is 0, the same column we have to write down, because the same anything minus 0 will give us the same value. So for that reason we have to write the same thing. But when it comes to J4, column J4, the least element is 5. So 6 minus 5, 1. 7 minus 5, 2. 11 minus 5, 6. 6 minus 5, 1. 5 minus 5, 0. Then in the last column, here also 0 is the least element. So the column comes as it is, like 8, 5, 4, 3 and 0. Now we proceed with allocation. So we have a procedure to allocate the following manner. In this allocation, First we need to observe, go to first row and look for single zero. So if single zero is there, we are going to allocate there by marking with a box or square. So only we have to consider single zero row. That means first row we see, we will find single zero. Here we will mark it like this with a square box. Then we will go for next row, that is single zero. We will find single zero, and again here we have marked here. Then one thing we have forgot. Actually, when we are marking the first row, in first row when we have observed this single zero, while marking we have to check for any zeros in the column. Just here we were marking, here we were marking the first row. Then we have to strike down any zeros that exist in the column. After that we will proceed to second row, where we have marked with only when single zero is there we have to mark this, right? Then we need to check any zeros are there, no zeros are there. Then in third row, that zero which was striken off should not be considered, because job 1 can be allocated to only one worker. If we take that zero into consideration, we will make allocation here also, so we should not take that. Then we will go for fourth row. Fourth row is W4 row, where we have single zero. This is single zero, and we are going to make allocation here. So this is single zero. Then we have checked here in this column, no zeros are there, no column. Then we go for single. Next in W5 row, we will find one single zero, and here also we have marked. Now we will go for single zero columns. No single zero columns are okay. Anyhow, just what we do here is, here since there are two zeros, we cannot make any allocation here. Now we see W5. That means this fifth row, there are two zeros, so we should not do anything. Now we proceed column wise. First we check for single zero columns. There we have to make allocation. Anyhow, first column is over. Second column we see there was 0 which was already allocated. Third column we see there was 1 0 that was allocated. And in fourth column J4 we have one single zero. So where we will make allocation. This is single zero column. In single zero column, so we have made allocation. Then we have to check any zeros in the row, and we have to strike it off. And then we have to proceed with next column. There are no zeros. Now when we observe this, actually when there are 5 workers, 5 jobs are there, they should be allocated to 5 workers. But it is not being done in this procedure. So what we need to do is, we have to go one step further after doing this, because we should ensure that there should be 5 assignments which were not completed. So we have another procedure to follow. This, after this, we'll take the same table and we'll proceed further.